So a lot of people say, okay, Darnell, you talk about workflows all the time. Exactly what do you mean by I need to create a workflow? Where do I even look to create a workflow? So Microsoft has this amazing program called Visio. Visio allows you to build basic diagrams, different types of drawings. As you can see, a network diagram, which I've never used, timelines, but we're going to use a cross functional flow chart. The reason why I like to use the cross functional flow chart is because it's going to give me a process from beginning to end. It's going to have what I like to call swim lanes. So these can be individual lanes that we can use to say, hey, this is going to be registration or front desk. So we're going to change immediately to front desk for this particular swim lane. And then we're going to say our next function, it's going to be nursing. And then our final function, it's going to be provider. All right. So a lot of these other things I really don't need. So I'll go ahead and just delete them off already. As you can see here are buttons and shapes that we're going to use. I have my favorite shapes that I like to actually use. And they should be over here. Okay. We're not going to focus on that now. But all of my shapes, I really do need those shapes actually now. So just excuse me for 1 minute here. Quick shapes. Okay, awesome. So we have our quick shapes there. So however you want to designate what these shapes are is totally up to you. So the peel typically is for a start. This box is for a process. This box is for a decision. And so this is a start. This is an end. All right. So typically, what I like to do immediately when I come in, and my processes are already built. So a lot of these things are already set up the exact way that I love for them to be set up. So we're going to just say, hey, this is going to be the start. We're going to have another process. I like to line my processes up. I like to double click in the box. We're going to do register the patient. Register the patient. All right. And let's say after that, we're going to say check in the patient. And this is just a very basic workflow. Whatever you all do, every itty bitty little thing that you do, make sure you document that particular workflow. So we have start, register the patient, check in the patient, set patient. I can't spell today. Set patient to waiting room. I really can't spell today. Set patient to waiting room. Update patients. What the is going on? Update patient status to waiting. All right. So now we have all of our items in. We are now going to do our connectors. And this can become very, very tedious as we are building these connectors. Super tedious. I kid you not. So we're going to build our connectors all the way across. And then nursing receives the patient. So this is nurses intake. Then our next process After nurses intake is going to be very verify patient, open patient, retrieve. This is going to be a tough one. Patient from waiting area. Retrieve patient from waiting area. Verbally verify. As you can see, this is very tedious because these are all the steps that we do that we don't think about. We never think about each individual step. But when we talk about what is your current state workflow, as a matter of fact, let's just name this as current current state workflow. So we're going to verify the patient. We're going to verbally verify the patient. That's usually going up to the front and calling the patient. Now, this is where things can get some tricky for a lot of places. Do you immediately take the patient to the room? Or, like a lot of places, you might stop and get a height and weight. We're just going to increase the size of our swim lane. It doesn't take a lot. So we got our height and weight for the patient. Room, patient. Open EHR. Select right patient. Perform vitals. This is also where it can become tricky. Sometimes you have to enter vitals. Other times you have to enter the chief complaint first. It just depends upon how your system is set up. Enter chief complaint. Going to widen this out a little bit more. And depending upon your protocols, complete standing orders. Then we're just going to keep going on and on and on. And don't forget, we have to connector. We have to connect all of the dots. Y'all are probably wondering why my mouse is so big and the cursor is so big. I have 3 different screens and I need to find out where my mouse is all day, every day. That's why it's so big. And we're just going to connect all the dots. This program is called Visio. You can ask your IT department that, hey, we need Visio installed on our computers, or management can get them installed. And this, y'all, is how you build your own current state workflows. So that when we come in and we ask, what is your workflow? You can print this off, you can email it to us, and whatever you all do at your location, make sure that it's documented properly. So this may be a question. Does patient need labs? Okay. Does patient need labs, right? So we're going to have, if patient needs labs, send to lab. Going to add another connector here. Yes. So if it is a yes, we're going to send the patient to lab. Guess what that's going to create? It's going to create another lab workflow. If the patient does not need labs, guess what? Set patient to waiting for provider. Set patient to waiting for provider. And then we go on to the next. Now, some of these, sometimes as you can see when I hovered, it will give us another box. That works from time to time. And I just I use it if I need to, but it will create additional boxes for you. So decision making, start, stop, and all of your different processes. Um, whatever you want to call these and however you want to use these is perfectly fine. They use this for documentation. So let's make this connection over here. Send to lab, generate intake document. There you go. And ladies and gentlemen, this is a way that you can create your current state workflow. This is industry standards. This is industry practice. This is what we use across the United States when we're designing your workflows. So the next time someone says, hey, do you have a current state workflow? What is your workflow? You can say, guess what? Dr. D taught me how to create a workflow. And this is Sipping Tea with Dr. D Workflow Creation. Thank you.